Okay, on Thursday, March 31st, 2016, I had a dream early that morning, okay? So the first thing you need to know is I got up to use the bathroom at about 5:45 in the morning, and I came right back to bed, didn't turn on any lights or anything, and I fell right back to sleep. So I know that I had the dream after I fell back to sleep. And I dreamt that my husband and I went on vacation and we were in India. And I distinctly remember thinking to myself, whoa, we're on vacation finally and we're not at the beach, we're in India. And then I was like, okay, well, whatever, just be thankful you're having a vacation. And so I went with it. So this happened to be the last day of our vacation, and we had been chipping off of our list of things to do that we wanted to do. And since it was our last day, we kind of decided we wanted to go here, here, and here. So the first place we wanted to go was this little gift shop so that I could go talk to the woman, the Indian woman who was, she and her husband owned the shop, and she made jewelry, and I wanted to talk to her about how she made her jewelry because I sometimes make jewelry. And we wanted to get gifts for our family. And we got there, and it had a lot of little rooms, and it was really interesting. There were lots of tourists there. And so my husband was right into it. He was, getting gifts for the kids and the relatives, and, he was off doing his thing, and I was off doing my thing. And the next thing you know, I walk outside and I take a taxi, except that it's not a traditional taxi. It looks like a truck like this with a flatbed with a golden cushion, like a giant sofa cushion on it. So I get on the back and there's a man sitting here, and he's got a tunic, like a shirt the same color as the golden cushion. And he's an Indian man, and then the only other person was a driver, and then myself sitting on the back. So I get on. I have no idea where we're going or why I'm even on the taxi. I get on and I hang on the cushion, and I'm like, this is interesting. I hope I don't fall off. And we get going down the road, and I go, ooh, I just left my husband. I got on a taxi. I don't know where I'm going, and he doesn't even know that I'm gone. That's not good. And so I was like, well, it'll be fine. I'll just tell the taxi driver to either take me back or help me get back there, and it'll be fine. Just be a couple of minutes, no big deal. So I start to relax, and we're driving down the road, and I'm taking in the view, and I'm like, oh, this is nice, whatever. And we go over an overpass. And we pull over to the right because we're driving just like we do in America, where we're on the right side of the road. And so we went over the overpass. We pulled over to the right immediately after the overpass. And the gentleman seated in front of me got off of the back of the truck and walked across the road and looked back to the overpass from where we drove over. And he was looking at the overpass and underneath of it and all the homes and the residences. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. And I got off the truck and I thought, well, I'll just go over and go talk to him. So I walked over to him and he started talking to me. And he said, yeah, I'm just checking out the overpass. My company just did some work on this recently. He said, we had gotten calls from concerned residences and business owners. They had been noticing some odd erosion or odd things about the overpass, and they were afraid that it was going to collapse or there was something wrong. And he said, so my company came out and we looked it over and we realized they were right. Whoever had built the overpass did not build it to spec. So it was not built to code and it wasn't safe. And I said, oh, yeah, I know what that means because my dad was in construction many years. And when you don't build something to spec, it's not safe. You're taking the extra money for your own, profit, and you're just building it shoddily and getting the work done and you're out of there. I said, I totally understand what that means. He said, yeah, so the company that built it didn't build it to specification and it was unsafe and it would have collapsed very soon if we hadn't come in and fixed it. And I said, wow, that's amazing that you caught that. And he says, yes, a lot of lives would have been lost if we hadn't. And I was like, wow. He said, so this is the first time I've been out to check on it since we finished our construction and our, fixing it up. And I'm just assessing it visually, and I'm going to have to come back out periodically just because it was such a shoddy job they did that I just want to make sure everything's fine. And I was like, wow. And that was the end of my dream. So then, normally my alarm during the school year is set for 7 a.m. during weekdays. So I woke up about 2 minutes before that and opened my eyes, and I was facing my nightstand where my iPhone was charging. And I reached over and I hit the home button, and I get notifications for lots of things, and some of them are my news apps. And one of them, the very first notification on my phone at that moment when I hit the home button was this right here, Kolkata Overpass in India. Kolkata Overpass collapse. Now, it didn't say kills 24, but my notification basically indicated Kolkata, India overpass collapse, and it was dated this date right here, 3/31/2016. And I was like, whoa, okay. So I was a little freaked out, and I didn't say anything to my husband or my kids. Everybody got ready for school and work and left, and the next thing I did was call my mom. So I called my mom, I give her all the details, and I said, geez, Mom, it's weird. I know this happened, but I feel bad that I can't give you any proof that I had this dream. And then instantly I woke up and hit the home button, and boom, there it is. And she's like, don't worry, hon, I know you're not lying. You don't make up stories like that. And I really did. I gave her every little detail, and I'm sure she was like, sitting there very patiently listening to me, going, yep, okay, okay. But I don't know why. I felt it was important to give her all the details. So this was the story that came up basically that day, although this is dated the next day. So I couldn't find I clicked on the one, but the cached date says the 31st. If you look in the Google, if you just Google Kolkata overpass collapse, you'll see the cache date is 3/31/2016. So anyway, this is the story and the images of the original thing. And I told her all about it, and I said, it just kind of bothers me, but whatever, and I'm going to start making a log of my dreams. So I go on about my day, and I had written it down, and I had already talked to her, and when my husband came home, I did tell him, and I told my kids, and they went, wow, that's crazy. And the next day, Friday came, and I didn't think anything of it, and as I was going through my day, a notification came up on my phone about how the the company that built it, IVRCL, was charged, okay, for attempted murder or whatever, because they basically didn't build it to spec. So I thought, that's odd. And you can see it's dated Friday. Okay, 4/01/2016, right here, just like it says right here. Okay, so I didn't think anything of it because I'm like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I dreamed, no big deal, and whatever. And so I'm going on about my day, and I keep getting more and more agitated and more agitated. And I finally sit down with a cup of coffee, and I'm like, all right, what is the matter with me? So I'm looking through my phone, and I realize that the proof that I wanted was the notification and news story about this company being charged for just this whole business here about the collapse. And I called my mom and I said, Mom. And she said, oh yeah, you did tell me that. So she's my witness, and she said she would eventually come on and witness to that. But I just needed to put that out there, that this dream came to pass. Basically, parts of this dream came to pass, things that I had discussed in the dream. And that's that.